Hello everybody and welcome. This is MFL Total Access. Look at that, Terry. We got some playoffs here. MFL playoffs. Favorite time of the year, one of my favorite times of the year. I love Christmas, I love my birthday, and I love MFL playoffs. Terry, I'm super pumped. We got a crazy amount of tie breaks we had to work through.
Oh my god.
We did it. Matchups are set. Let's
Some
get
were
it.
a lot more complicated than others. Some heartbreaks.
Yes, some heartbreaks to say the least. It's tough.
Speaking about tie breaks, let's talk about the format, I think.
Sure.
Some guys, notably Max and Dave, had some interesting comments.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about it a little bit because, currently the way it is if it's a two-way tie, it's head-to-head.
Right.
And then it's points against, and then plus minus.
Yes.
And then if it's a more than two-team tie, like a multiple-team tie, it'll be head-to-head among the tie teams only.
Okay,
but
right.
Win percentage of those head-to-head matchups.
Right.
So let's say we have five
percentage, right? Percentage is the key word.
So let's say we have 5 teams that are tied.
Yes.
At like 5 and 5.
Yeah.
And there's like one playoff spot left for those 5 tie teams.
Yeah.
It's going to be the head-to-head percentage, but one team might have played every other team, but
Right.
you might have a team that only played 2 out of the 5 teams, right?
Right.
In a division where you don't play everyone at least once.
Mm-hmm.
Division 1 and Division 2 were like pretty cool in the sense that we were 6 teams. Everyone plays each other twice.
Yeah.
There's no problems.
Yeah.
If you have an 11-team division, it's very smooth as well. You play everyone once.
Right.
We didn't have any 11-team divisions.
No.
Division 3 and 5 both had 12 teams.
Yeah.
So there was at least one team that everyone did not play against.
Right.
And then Division 4 had 14 teams.
Yeah.
So there were 3 teams who you were not playing against, right?
Right.
And we'll talk about what happened in Division 4 for that tie break. But first, like Dave said, that in a 3 or 4-way tie, it should just go to points against. It's a lot more simple, right?
Yeah.
I agree with the simplicity of it. And I 100% agree that it points against over differential, right?
I don't like differential.
Well, I think differential does give us a better image of who's the better team. I think
Yeah.
we agree with that, right? Like,
Yes.
your point differential is more telling of if you're a stronger team or not.
Right.
But, like, especially the way the MFL is built, like, if you're going with differential, you're going to see teams, like, smacking, like, weak teams. Like, you're already up 50-0. Instead of changing quarterbacks, you're going to want to, like, take it to them and all that.
You're gonna go for 2 up 40-0. Like that's not MFL, right?
Yeah, and also like when it's points against, you want your offense to kind of slow the game down because like if you're scoring quickly, the other team gets the ball, they have a chance to score.
Right.
Right.
Why do you think it's a little random? Why do you think it's points against and not points for? Like other leagues do points against as well. Why do you think like points against is?
Well, for that reason, just because I think it's for like the sportsmanship of the league, right?
Right.
I really think it's that. Like I can't see like. It's not because people say defense wins championships.
Right. Yeah.
Because, especially in flag, like, I feel there's more chances that the best offense wins than the best defense, right?
Totally. Okay, got you.
Yeah, and then Dave also said he remembers that one team was out because they had played an extra game. And yeah, like, like let's say 2 teams are tied.
Yeah.
And one played all 4 other teams, and they're 3-1. The record's 3-1, and the other team's 3-0. But they didn't play against the team that the other team lost against.
So they're 100%.
Yeah, or something like that. So you see that, but they played the extra game.
Right.
So like, I do agree with Dave in the sense that like it is complicated. Like right now, like it's kind of like as if we're doing a mini standings amongst all tie teams.
Right.
And like, okay, well, but at the end of the day, if you're doing a season standings, like everyone's gonna have played against everyone, right? And that's the only iffy part of it.
Yeah.
It's hard to have like a perfect formula as well, right? Like,
right. That's what I mean. Like, for me, I get it. There's flaws. For me, like, I think this is the one we have now. I think it's the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah. Well, so you'd keep it with...
yeah. I have, like, even though, like, we talked about, like, the tiebreak in one of the divisions where one team played...
So, like, let's talk about that one, right? Division 4, right?
Exactly, Division 4.
And, like, I think this is even worse for the season where Dave was referring to because, like, right now we had 2, 3, 4, 5... There were 6 teams tied at 6 and 4.
Yeah.
And 5 out of those 6 teams were making it in.
Right.
Only one team was not making it in.
Yeah.
Okay, and out of those, I said 6 teams, right?
Yeah, 6.
Out of those 6 teams, some of them played 4 games.
Right.
Most
between
of them played
each other.
Yeah, most of them played 3 or 4 games between each other.
Yeah.
Sooners 45, the team that unfortunately did not make it in, only played 2 games.
Right.
Against the other 5 teams.
Yeah.
So there's 3 out of those 5 teams that they're tied with that we're putting them up against only them. Like now we're saying your record counted for your season, but now we're looking at only your games against those 5 teams.
Yeah.
And we don't care what you did about against anyone else.
Right.
Unfortunately, you only play against 2 of them.
Yeah.
Because of the way the schedule was made out.
Yeah.
You lost both those games.
Right.
Maybe they would have went 3-2 had they played the other 3.
Right.
But Serial Killers had the least points against amongst those tied teams. Sorry, I said Serial Killers. Right?
Yeah.
And then Sooners 45.
Okay.
Sooners 45 had the least points against in all of Division 4.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
And Sooners 45 have the second best point differential in all of the four. So you can make an argument that based on points against and differential, they're a top 3 team in the division, right?
I think that stat right there shows that defense does not win championships in flag football. They have the least points against out of all 14 teams and will not make the playoffs.
All 14 teams.
It's crazy.
This team is 1 game back from being tied for first place. The first place team finished 6-3. They're 7-3. They're 6-4. They're 1 game behind the first place record.
You know the meme of your Greek buddy where it goes like trying to figure this out? There's a bunch of math things and stuff like that.
Greek buddy.
The guy from Hangover. That's basically what it was.
And Sooners 45 beat Super Friends, so maybe they would have the tiebreaker and they would end up finishing first.
But I think you have to go by win percentage, right, Terry? Because if one team played 4 games amongst the teams, the other played 2.
Yeah.
Obviously, the team that had 4 is probably going to get more wins, but maybe a worse win percentage.
Yeah.
There's never. I think you said it perfectly. There's never going to be a perfect formula.
One thing that I would keep in this is that if you're a team that goes undefeated amongst the tie teams, should be first among those tie teams, no matter how many games you played.
Even if we go 1-0.
Yeah, then there's that argument, right?
Right.
Sooners only played 2 games. What if they went 2-0?
Yeah.
You could have and then it's win percentage. So a team that goes 2-0 and a team that goes 3-0 that haven't played against each other, they have the same win percentage.
Yes.
So a team that, at the same time, as much as we're disadvantaging teams for having played less games,
now
the team that played the extra game doesn't even get the advantage out of it for having 3 wins.
Right. Yeah.
If you went Sooners that went 0-2, let's say another team was 0-3 in that tie.
They're identical.
They'd be identical to Sooners.
Yes.
But the team that's 2-1 is better than the team that's 1-1.
Right.
So
there's
no perfect
method.
It'd be fun if obviously it's not possible with the scheduling and all that, but it'd be fun to have a mini tournament with all those tie teams, and something like that.
Mike Jazz suggested a play-in.
Yeah, but who would you play in?
Yeah, that too. Maybe the 8 and 9, kind of like the
NBA
does it, right?
Apart?
Yeah, he did. When he found out he didn't make the playoffs, the NBA, right? 8 and 9.
Yeah.
I don't love the NBA play-in, but I can see how a play-in would work in this situation.
We'll do a play-in only if there's tie teams and we're at a tiebreaker that's a little effed up and it's complicated and all that.
It's sad, but there's rules for a reason.
Yeah, 100%. We're following this. Oh, an important thing to note starting next season, there's going to be a new tiebreaker at the very, very top of the list, and it's going to be number of forfeited games. So if you forfeited a game, even if you're 4-0 amongst tie teams, if you have a forfeit and no one else forfeited, you're automatically at the bottom.
What if you go 7-0 and you forfeit 3 games? Does a team that goes 5-5 leapfrog you?
No, it's only a tiebreaker. Yeah. You don't get the loss. You don't get it's only
I like that.
Yeah. It's
we've seen Wizards forfeit 3 games this year, right?
If not more.
Yeah.
So starting.
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah. I think John wanted to implement it this year, and I'm like, it's maybe a little last minute.
Yeah.
Especially because you guys were talking about should we forfeit our game? Should we?
Yeah, man. Poof, what a crazy game with 18.
Let's start with Division 1.
Great season. Yeah.
I think went through most of the stuff. So
let
us know what you guys think. Give us more proposals.
Yeah.
I think Mike Jazz gonna have a couple of them for.
For sure. I was sad for Mike Jazz, but then I was happy. I checked didn't check, but he's on replacements, right? So at least one of his teams is making the playoffs.
What about his other teammates that are not?
I know. But it's Jazzy. I like Mike Jazzy.
So Division 1. Let's go with the 18 Centurions game. And what a game that Gab Archambault had, eh? Not only offensively, but defensively as well.
Two-way stud.
The man picked off 2 balls, and he also had a huge pass on the first pick, I think, of the game. Or his second pick, the pick 6. He had it in his hands, and he kind of bobbled it, and then he threw it up in the air, and his teammate got it and brought it back for 6. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes, sorry, with a tip ball.
Yeah, and he brought it down and pick 6, yeah.
Yes. It was, man, the bounces were going their way, but it wasn't luck, Terry. You're at the right spot.
When you're 5 players on the field, it's easier for the bounces to go the other way.
Touche. You're at the right place at the right time, and Archambault had a great game offensively and defensively. That's the thing, Terry, is this Centurions team, they're super well-rounded anywhere on the field. I feel any of their players could play any position in flag football.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You can grab any of the guys that can play center. You can grab any of the guys that can play DB. You can grab any of the guys that play quarterback.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it.
Thank you.
And this is kind of the game they needed, right? Going to the playoffs.
I mean, we needed it a little bit more because we hadn't clinched. Thank God we're in.
I mean, more for now that you guys are both in, for the morale.
Totally. And they're going to have a big game against Gokal coming up, which should be a close game. Still don't know who I'm going to pick in that one, but everything was going right for Centurions in this game. Look, of course, we were 5 for most of the game, but you can't fault them for that. They took advantage of it, and they played a super smooth game, and they controlled from start to finish. And like you said, a game that they wanted to win,
That fourth down throw by Louis on that double quarterback.
Oh, yes.
Like, I think that was like what really took it to you guys. 'Cause at that point, the score was.
I believe he hit the middle of the field.
End of the half, you guys were down 5 points.
Yeah, we were in the game at that point.
And they made it a 2-score game with them getting the ball to start the second, I believe.
Yes, exactly.
So that was, And, like, I think they do a lot of that too. Quarterback drop back, but like they hadn't done it all game, and they kind of kept it like for that play when they needed it most. And you guys were really not expecting it. And you guys are a team that also do it, so I feel when you're always ready for it. You always know on key downs, converts. Oh, I'll drop back, I'll run, take the second quarterback, and like you guys really didn't.
At that point, we were 6 players too because John. So it's like now we were 5.
But it looked as if you were 4 because no one took the second quarterback. And Xavier Corret, who caught the ball in the middle of the end zone, was wide open.
Yeah, like there was literally no one within 5 yards. They caught us off guard. It was a smart play. Like I said, they're smart players. That was probably the game-changing play, if you have to pick one. So good call there, Terry.
TSN turning point.
TSN turning point, spot on. And yeah, they took the ball.
They don't do that anymore, do they? Or do they still?
TSN turning point, no. There's no, it's kind of annoying. They have like the plays of the week, plays of the month, but not that. That was your turning point of the game.
Yeah.
But as if they needed a turning point, like they really dominated this game.
Yeah.
Centurions did.
I want to spend more time talking about the playoff matchups and the games that happened because I didn't really see Outlaws Bitter Boys and I didn't see Holy Trollers Gold Cook either. So should we just start previewing or should we talk about how unfortunate it is that Holy Trollers
I think you have to mention that, Terry. Like, of course it's tough that you don't have Phil most of the season. I was talking to Phil. Phil and JC played 1 game together this season.
Wow.
Like, that's tough. Yeah. It was a game they lost against Gold Cook, but like the point is they only played 1 game together.
We also have other ballers on this team.
That's what I'm saying.
Max Rosenfeld is arguably like one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history.
I think, like right now, I think he's second best quarterback in the league. One of the best players in the league. If you look at like the value he has for his squad, and look, it's easy to give them a pass, Holy Trollers.
Well, we gave them a pass. Well, I gave them a pass. 2 seasons ago when they didn't make the playoffs. I think going 1-9 or 2-8.
Yeah,
but that was Max's first season coming back from his surgery. He wasn't like totally fine and everything. You saw like it was bothering him. He wasn't moving the same way in the pocket. So I'm like, I'll give them a pass then. Then the following season, the fall, they played really well. They were almost favorites in the finals, scoring like 50 points, losing by 1 possession to the Outlaws.
Yeah.
You thought they'd come back firing in this season, right?
Right.
And I don't think we could give them a pass now.
No, I don't think so either. You look at this game, Terry, against Gold Cook. Look at the roster and the guys they had.
Yeah.
Holy Trollers, they could have won this game against Gold Cook.
Yeah. 100%. Like, they had Ben Bergeron coming back from who I think we didn't see all season long.
No, exactly.
Scoring a touchdown in this game.
Yeah, Manu subbing.
Yeah, Manu subbing. Sean Haney, Josh Lemine. JC was there this game.
Right.
Max Sidori, who balled out in this game, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns.
So, look, if you ask me if Phil and JC played all 10 games, would they make the playoffs? I would say probably yes.
Yeah, make the playoffs. Yes, they were 1 game out of the playoffs. But I'm saying that, like, the same way you say that if you give 6 squirrels an orange jersey, Outlaws should still make the playoffs. Like, if you give 4 of them, 4 squirrels a Holy Trollers jersey, they'll be able to, like, ship at you. But, like, they still should make the playoffs with the roster they have.
Even if you give jerseys to 4 rats, bro, you somehow find a way to get the playoffs.
Like, this is crazy. Like, and, like, you're looking at Max numbers, 25 for 35, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. The touchdown total is low, but, like, not bad numbers. He didn't throw 3 picks in this game. Like, I saw Trollers were down 26-6 very early, like at 20-6 at halftime.
I think Trollers scored first, right?
Yes.
Because A-Team needed Trollers to lose, and I was playing the game after with Thunder Buddies, and Dylan's like, guys, bad news, Trollers just scored. We're like, oh, crap.
Yeah, well, and then we looked 5 minutes later.
Yeah, and it was
fine. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to bounce back in the fall. I don't think they're going to have at all the same roster they have now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe a few different
Props
guys.
to Gold Cook, but I called it early in the season. Like, I feel you were very high on Trollers.
Yes.
Obviously, you were high on A-Team.
Yes.
We always respect Centurions.
Yes.
But the way that Gold Cook played Outlaws in that semifinals last fall, like, I'm like, before the season started, I'm like, I could see a Outlaws Gold Cook finals, and I think everyone would put their money on Outlaws Trollers repeat.
Yeah.
After those fireworks that went on in that game, right? So,
yeah.
Props to Gold Cook, who like finished 6-4, but had a very, very strong end of season, right?
Yes,
like,
exactly.
They won games convincingly. Especially their last 2.
They won 4 of the last 5.
Yeah, they won 4 of the last 5. They dropped 1 of the Outlaws, but they beat every other team in those 4 games. So maybe we could start by previewing that Gold Cook Centurion semi-finals.
So,
unless you wanted to bash the Trollers a little more.
No.
Oh, you're good? Okay.
So, no. Love the Strollers, good guys. They'll be back strong next season, I believe that.
These two teams split. Centurions won 21-19 in week 1.
I score kept that game. That was my first ever game scorekeeping.
So it must have been like
the score was correct. The stats probably were not.
Is that the game where Louis Archambault quarterback, but we thought it was Gab and it went back and forth? But Gab played that game or
something like that?
Okay. Anyway, so they maybe didn't have their quarterback in that game. Still not sure. 12 weeks later.
They were teasing me, man. They look alike too. They're both very good quarterbacks.
Then Cook really gave it to Centurions in that week 11 matchup, 50-22. Centurions were obviously just 6, had a sub in that game. Cook had were 7, I think, and had most of their guys there. What a game this is going to be, right? We said on air we may give our picks, but we could talk about it.
Exactly. But we may I
don't know,
I legit, Terry, I don't know who I'm going to pick in this game.
I think that if I just quickly think before analyzing it too much, the way that each team ended their season, Gros Coq are stronger right now.
Yes.
In my power rankings, Gros Coq, I have them ahead of Centurions.
Same.
But the way the Centurions played against A team, I know you guys were 5, but Gab Archambault was a leader, right? Mm-hmm. He rallied his team, right?
Yes.
On offense and on defense. And this guy doesn't play defense, and when he has to, he stepped up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I know both teams are going to be missing some key players.
Yes, we heard that too.
So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah. I just think it's so, apropos that they split the season 1-1. It's with these guys, it's going to be like that. I think it's going to finish a 1-score game, and it could come down to whoever has the ball last in this one. We'll check Kevin's article because we're making our picks there. If I had to pick somebody on air, my non-official pick right now would be Glo Cook, like you said, Terry. But I'm going to think about it. I'm going to sit, let it digest, sleep on it, and then you'll see our picks in the article. But I'm excited for this game. This game, do you know what time this game's on at 2 o'clock?
Yeah.
Shoot, I got a game at that time. But yeah, this can be a good one. This can be a dandy, as they say. All games at the same park this week.
Yes. Unfortunately, at Archer Terrier, I prefer the Bear. But Archer
Terrier
does have the actual bathrooms, has a parking lot, has... Oh, Kevin made it seem as if Archer Terrier was way better.
Wait, have we ever done 4 fields at...
You can't at Archer Terrier.
So...
There's not enough room. There's not more than 3 games at a time.
So, is there another time slot?
I don't understand your question.
Isn't there usually 4 games at the same time?
Yeah, during the season.
Oh, playoffs.
There's not as many playoff games as there are season games, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, you're not playing 10 playoff games.
That sucks.
There's 27 playoff games. We're gonna have 18 of them this weekend, and then the final 9 the weekend after.
Bless. Okay, so we're having 3 games at the same time.
Yeah, so we still have the 6 time slots.
Nice.
And 3 games per time slot to make it 18.
I would take that. I like that.
So there's gonna be the semifinals of D1 and D2
this Saturday.
Yeah, quarterfinals D3, D4, D5, and also the semifinals of D4.
And then the following Saturday,
semifinals for 3 and 5, and all the championship games.
Get your popcorn ready.
Get your popcorn ready. So, what you thought we'd have 4 games every field,
But I like LeBear better, but I'd rather be all together.
Yeah, 100%.
And be in an alley. I play football in an alleyway.
But we could have been all together at LeBear. Just like we're patching it up so we could come back stronger.
I think it's an excuse.
Yeah. Well, but even if you thought we'd have all the games, how could there be? You thought there'd be as many playoff games as season games?
No, I guess you're
not getting off the hook that easily.
You're the mathematician here, not me, fortunately.
Okay, so what would you say is the key to winning for... I'll go for Centurions, you go for Glo Coq.
Key to winning for Glo Coq?
Yeah.
As a defense, jumping routes. I think for them, you got to jump routes. For Centurions, it's rare this team goes deep. They can go deep. But Archambault, they're very efficient. This team is like robots. Get ball, see ball, throw ball, boom, that's it. And
laser ball.
Yes, exactly. Most of the time it's going to his first read, not because he's forcing it, but because it just seems to be open. He's able to go second, third read.
100%. He'll take those 3-4 yards.
That's what I'm saying. I think if you're Glo Coq, these guys, we call them the kids for a reason, right? They're young, they're athletic, they're fast. Jump routes.
Yeah.
For these guys, they got to jump routes, they got to intercept balls. I could see them getting a pick 6 or 2 in this game by simply jumping routes. Now, the flip side of that one is you jump routes, you're able to hit someone over deep if you're Archambault. But for Glo Coq, I think it's trust your instincts, trust your defensive ability, jump routes in this one.
100%. For Centurions, I think this is the battle of I think the top 2 rushers in the division, Francis and Nicolas. I think the key for Centurions is Francis getting that rush on Dom. Dom cannot buy time. Dom's already going to buy time. We know he's going to buy time, right? But he cannot buy an enormous amount of time.
Right.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
he can go through all 5 of his reads twice. If he does it once, it'll be okay. But yeah, like, I really think the rush is going to be huge in this game. And anytime you're playing against a quarterback like Dom, it's going to be not necessarily containing him because he doesn't run all that much as he used to. It's more so the scrambling behind line of scrimmage.
Right.
And not letting him, because, like, he could be the best DB in the league. And, like, if the guy has 10 seconds,
Yeah, of course.
the receiver's going to get open, right?
For sure. I mean, Nanaji would get open with 10 seconds too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. She might, like, bust an ankle or something.
Yeah, but no, she'll catch the ball.
And then the other thing for Centurions is to have as
That's
many.
mean, bro. I can't believe you just said that. Like,
Well, you saw the field conditions.
yeah, that's true. That is true.
And the other thing for Centurions is to have as many guys available as possible.
Yes. I think he dares have 6 players.
No, I think the guy be 7. Like, I think if Centurions show up with 6, I would take Gold Cook. If Centurions show up with 7 or more, I would take them.
Okay.
I think they haven't that luxury to play with 7 players in a very long time.
Yeah.
And I think that's very, very important for them. And also, like you said, stick to your game plan. Like, the game they played against Gold Cook, they really deviated away from it. But the game started off so well. Those hooks.
You ref that game, right?
Yeah, the hooks, those slants, the skinny post, the middle, the ins. Like, those little simple plays that don't get that much yards but are, like, high percentage throws.
Yeah.
And that, like, Gab lasers it in. And, like, his guys have those good hands to make those catches. Like, that's what they got to do. Yeah. And, like, if you're down a possession, just don't try to... You don't have to, like, force things.
Yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
I think this should be a very close game, a back and forth game. Both teams have surprised us with their offense and defense throughout the season.
Yes.
And, like, I'm very excited to see which one makes it to the finals because I believe neither of these two teams made it to the finals in a very long time, right?
Yeah, well, Centurions, it's going to be the first time. Well, they never made the finals in D1, right?
Yeah, D1 obviously I'm talking about. Yeah, they're D2. They have a championship in D2
Exactly.
and the finals lost in D2.
Well, I assume the last time Gold Cook were in the finals, maybe when they beat Outlaws in that winter one.
Yeah, that was the fall, but, like, was played
In the fall, yeah.
That was a long time ago. Wait, who made the finals? It was Trollers.
Trollers, Outlaws.
And the season before that?
Well, there was Outlaws Henchmen the 1 year.
Yeah, but that was...
And then in between that... Was it Outlaws Trollers? It must have been Outlaws Trollers.
No, that was the year Trollers didn't make the playoffs.
Oh, you guys played Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's been, like, a while that a non-Outlaws team made the finals, right? Like, other than...
That or a non-Outlaws team won the finals.
That are in the play... Well, yeah, that won the finals. I meant that made the playoffs that are in the playoffs right now. Like, well,
yes.
A team never made the finals, and Cook has been at least 2 years. Centurions never did it in D1.
No.
So it's going to be interesting to have a new face in a D1 final.
Storyline.
Been there for a while, right?
Yep. I like it.
A-team Outlaws?
Third round?
I feel that, given that I'm not officially on the Outlaws roster anymore, I need to hold back. Like, you know, I would try to be nice and, like, they don't want to seem biased and all that.
Yeah. Would you really want Outlaws to win, or are you okay if we win?
No, obviously, they're still my team. I really want Outlaws. What do you mean if I'm okay if you guys win?
I mean, there's some good guys in Outlaws. I mean, on Trollers.
No, were you happy that your very good friends won the championship with Outlaws?
Furious.
Yeah, you were crying on the sideline.
Yeah, furious. I think I wanted you guys to lose more than Trollers wanted to beat you guys.
Seriously?
Yeah.
And are you asking me if I would be happy if you guys won?
Oh, I mean...
I'm glad that Outlaws get
Would you get a championship to your name?
Sorry?
Would you get a championship because you played in...
I don't know how...
I'll fight for whatever I can to make sure you don't get that chip if you guys get it. You got to play at least 5 games. That's if. You got to beat 18 first.
But I don't mind not having it. I already have like a couple.
Yeah, okay,
I think.
I'm sure. So 1-1 in the series. First time we played was week 1.
I feel like the Outlaws are happy because they had like some unfinished business against this A-team squad, right? Like,
yeah,
it was pretty bad the way that they got killed in that game, right?
Yeah, for sure. In that last game, and I think like we're excited to play the Outlaws because like it's a rivalry. We know some guys there, and like
crazy that May 28th game feels like years ago.
Yeah, like honestly, it's nuts. Like seriously, we just have the schedule worked out that we played them twice in the first like 3 weeks there, but Outlaws having a bit of a rough-ish start for Outlaws, to the season, going 2-2 and then rallying off 6 straight wins. So obviously they're hot. For us, A-team,
could it have been a less like henchman / honor game type season?
No.
Like seriously, and especially the way you guys finished the freaking season, showing up 5 guys, 6th guy comes, he leaves, John comes for a minute, he leaves. Like, What the hell?
It was typical of what
Like, do you even want to win this game?
yeah.
Because I remember you telling me that like you might not make the playoffs after
No,
what happened,
I don't know
what
what you're
went
talking
on in that game. Like,
It was. I'm not gonna lie. It was a tough way to end the season. It's definitely not a way you want to end the season with a team. You want to have all your 7 guys. You want to have everyone committed. And we're gonna see the roster we have coming into this week. But yes, no, definitely beating Outlaws would be super sweet. And like what a Cinderella story would be if a team could pull this off and win a championship. Like I think that'd be something else. So
it's crazy that come playoff time, no matter what happens in the season, you got to win 2 games. In D1 and D2, there's only 4 teams making playoffs. It's 2 games. Anyone could have a string of 2 very good games. Like we've seen Eli Manning and Joe Flacco have 3 or 4 straight games going red hot and like doing like nothing the rest of their careers almost. Like so like looking at this, I'm looking at A-team schedule and like I'm asking myself, do they have a chance? Like, can A-team be that Cinderella team and win the championship? And I'm looking at, did they have those string of like games where they came in hot? And like recently you had the 2 wins in back-to-back weeks against Bitter Boys. Okay, I'll kind of put an asterisk next to that one.
Right.
But earlier in the season, week 4 and 5, you guys won 2 games in a row against the Outlaws and then against the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
Which could very well be your semifinal and final matchup, right?
That's a good
so
call.
You know it's possible.
Yes.
And you guys destroyed the Outlaws, then had a very close win against the Gold Cup. Could have won either way, and you guys came out on top. So you guys could also win those close games.
Right.
So you guys clearly have it in you. You have the talent, but who knows what's going to happen, eh?
Terry, I think you said it really well. I think for A-team, we're a team that could lose to anyone in Division 1, but that we could beat anyone in Division 1.
I'm honestly surprised you didn't split with Bitter Boys.
Didn't split? Yeah. No.
Like, seriously. Like, you wouldn't have been shocked, right?
Maybe a little surprised, but we have Terry. Like look at this roster and look at like the squad and take away like the big ring and stuff happens.
It's hard to take that away.
Yeah, but just take it away. This team is a good squad. Where like you look at the roster of this team,
on paper,
it's a very good squad. And we've already beaten the Outlaws before, right? And like that was a very convincing win for us.
Yes.
And Outlaws have beat us, so it's 1-1. We know we can beat the Outlaws, and of course it's going to be a difficult task. And I think Steve said it too. I said, Steve, like, what about that game coming up? And he says, look, I'll never take A-team for granted because, like, he knows.
Yeah, you can't take a team that scored 41 points on you for granted, right?
Exactly. So
Steve threw how many picks in that game? 5?
5.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, of course, Outlaws are coming in as the favorites, but, I mean, A-team, we believe we could beat Outlaws, and we're coming into this game, like, with confidence. Of course, like, limping into the playoffs now, but we know we can do it, and I think it'll be a good game. And, of course, there's a few storylines to watch out for this one. But, look, Cinderella stories have happened, so why not us?
100%. Like, that year that Henchman beat
Gold
Cup coming into the semifinals, I think that like you guys were bigger underdogs than you are right now. But you guys, I mean, like the Henchman players that are on the
like Henchman squad.
Like I refer to the history of A-team to whatever honor game and Henchman did in the past.
Right, yeah.
So I think it's pretty fair, right?
Okay.
Since A-team doesn't have that long of a history, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Young
Guns.
Yeah. Crazy that. Let's go back to that 41-24 game and like. I remember Ashton had that monster game, right? I think he picked off Steve twice, 1 for 6.
Yeah.
Scoring 2 touchdowns that game. Is he going to be there this weekend? I mean, you don't have to tell me, but, like, do you guys want him there this weekend after what happened? Like he was a key player. Like, he was kind of the MVP of that game. And you could argue that Ashton's maybe the MVP of your season right now. Mm-hmm. He leads the team in yards.
Yeah.
Second in touchdowns.
Yeah.
He leads the team in interceptions.
Pretty remarkable for a guy who's never played with Dave before, too, right? Like, to have that connection. No, never.
Wow. Like, he's like, you could argue he's the best player on offense and on defense, right? Like, and the MVP of your team. And I think he's up there statistically amongst the best in the league right now.
It's pretty crazy.
And it was unfortunate to see what happened when he did show up. So, like, I think the decision has to be taken by the team. Like, do you want him there? Is he going to, even if you do, is he going to even show up? Like, is that the attitude you want going to the playoffs? Because, like, essentially that game against Centurions was a quarterfinals game that you guys lost but got like a lucky to still be in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Because I think you approach it, for what I know, like as a quarterfinals game.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Win and you don't care what happens.
Exactly.
You're in, right?
Yeah, totally.
And even with the win, you could have potentially avoided playing the Outlaws in the first round.
I didn't think about that. That's true.
Right?
But like all that to say, yes, we took it as a playoff game this last week.
So
a lot of interesting storylines for sure as A-team will discuss amongst each other, see what happens
looking
there.
Looking at the stats, you had Chris Hope and Demario once upon a time on this roster. These guys could have been huge right now.
Yes,
huge.
Yeah.
You guys liked it to go without them, and now like is they gonna bite you in the behind?
Gotta wait and see. Quickly, ways A-team could pull off the upset on this one.
I'm not gonna give you any tips.
Okay, so you say ways Outlaws can win. I'll say A-team can win. You're supposed to be unbiased here, bro.
Well, I mean,
you're proving your bias.
I mean,
just by that comment, you're proving your bias.
No, I don't. I mean, I could tell you, but like, you should know. You played against Steven
This
Assange.
is
You
not for
played
me.
against.
This is for the people watching out there. This is entertainment. This is television.
I'll tell you how Outlaws could win the game. You tell me how A-Team could win the game.
Okay, you first.
Well, Outlaws gotta do what Outlaws do, right? Show up to the game, have that demeanor. Like, you've played with a lot of players that are on this
Yes.
Outlaws team, and you've played against them. Where the Outlaws are up 20 or down 20, you can't tell the difference.
For sure.
You cannot tell it. The thing that shocks me the most is how calm you are, and having like a Steve. Well, I mean, when you're winning, maybe not. When you're playing the wrong bat anymore, having like a Smuda in that huddle.
Steve is not calm whether he's winning or losing.
Yeah. I was gonna say more like, okay, having the Steve on the team, it's not about the calm, but it's more about you still have the chance to come back and win that game.
Agreed.
Having that Smuda in the huddle is that you know that like he'll put you in check and make you like you'll know that like it's not over.
Agreed.
And that whether you're up 20, down 20 at any point in the game, like it's like the next down.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do the next down? We got to win the next down. We got to win the next drive, win the next possession, and then stop them. You know? So like, I don't think this game should be as hard for Outlaws as it was early in the season. I won't be surprised if 18 pulls it off. 'Cause I know they can pull it off, but I don't think they will. Especially seeing how you guys what happened with your roster in the last week.
Yeah, I think totally what you said. Outlaws' key to success is that I think for AT's point of view, I can keep it simple, Terry. It's playing as a team and knowing we can win, knowing we have the ability to beat anyone in Division 1 and playing together no matter what the score is, and fighting through adversity. I think that's what's going to take for us, and that may be our biggest challenge. Sometimes we're our own worst enemy.
Most of the time.
Yeah, so,
I mean all the time.
So I think figuring that out, and that'll be key success for us to win.
The last time Steve and Dave played in the playoffs, you know what happened? Do you think that's at all in the back of Dave's mind?
Probably, for sure. Look, there's no doubt Dave wants to beat Steve, and we like Division 1. We want to take down the Outlaws. So,
for what it's worth, Steve has had some bad loss in playoffs against certain quarterbacks, and he had it in the back of his mind, and he overcame it and beat them. So.
Yeah, I think it would be...
It's like, what's that expression when you have like a sharp thing that like it cut both ways?
Like iron sharpens iron? A two-edged sword?
Yeah, like a two-edged sword.
Yeah.
Like, it could like be negative or
totally,
positive towards him,
yes,
right? Like,
yes.
he could take it as that extra motivation, extra boost, or like it could like just play...
Double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Double-edged sword, sorry. Yes, agreed. We'd be naive to say that Dave doesn't really want this game. We all want this game. Dave wants this game. For sure, just going to be about...
for once, I think it's not about who wants it more.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's who wants it more.
Looking forward to it. Should be a good one.
Hello there. And for those of you wondering why he's here, well, initially we had filmed the show prior to finding out everything that happened in Division 2. And then literally the same day at night, we found out that Tannant are unfortunately forfeiting their game this Saturday. So before I continue... Jafar Hassan, now we could say longtime player of the MFL. Outlaws represent, also a Thunder buddy. He's been on the show before. He knows how it goes.
Yeah, and I'm way better than Will at this. So that's like the little candy in the middle of the episode for you guys.
Also, we hella appreciate you being here because if it wasn't the case, you guys would get the same preview that Will and I did of Outlaws, Tannant, and Iron Wolves. Where I was...
Iron Wolves.
Marvels. Yeah, and none of those matchups exist right now. So we figured it's only fair to you guys to refilm this segment. And, why is Will not here? Well, Will's away at Jesus camp.
Yeah. It's actually Jesus camp.
So
right?
like
it's not a joke.
he literally left as soon as we've ended filming a couple of days ago, and he's literally in Timbuktu right now. So there was no chance of getting him back for the show. So that's why we're very lucky to have Jaff instead.
And I have to mention Terry being a perfectionist. I've been knowing Terry for a long time. He wanted to refilm the episode. He texted me this morning asking me if I could make it. And you have the best guy in the media team that wanted to step up for you guys. So.
Appreciate that.
Be kind, be appreciated about Terry.
So just to put us in context a little bit, we found out that Tannant would not be able to make it, so we had a lot of options. We want to hear what you guys would have done if you were like part of the decision people calling the shots, right? Because like basically Tannant forfeit their game. Tannant was supposed to play Outlaws. One option, Outlaws get that free pass to the finals.
Yeah. Another
option, we rearrange the playoffs and have a 3-team playoff. In that case, Iron Wolves finish first. They get the bye, right? If this forfeit would have happened on game day, it'd be obvious. Outlaws would be in the finals, right? You're not going to rearrange the schedule and all that the same day. But this happened like literally almost a week before. And
You have time.
yeah, we have time. A 3-team playoff totally sucks. But if it was the case, I think Iron Wolves deserve the bye because they had the better record. Outlaws maybe would have thought that like they deserve because it's technically a forfeit. The schedule's already posted on the site. Right now the schedule is rearranged, and surprise, surprise, Red Zone are in, so they got their wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to quickly say what you thought? Maybe I'll encourage other people to let us know what they thought.
We talked about it off camera.
Yeah.
Like we're junkies about MFL, so we talk about a lot of stuff. Even though any of us are in Division 2, I subbed a couple of games with Outlaws Division 2, but I'm not part of the team, right? Terry's not playing in Division 2, but we talk about everything and anything. And from the get-go, I think we agreed on the best option would be for Red Zone to get in. And let's be honest, they're not getting by the back door. Red Zone had a pretty good season. If I'm not mistaken, they lost like 3 games by less than 1 possession. They lost a game in overtime against Marvel.
Yeah.
So in my mind, the best option was for Red Zone to get in, to be that 4th seed, to play against Iron Wolves. Because yes, you get in, not by the back door, but at the end of the day, like you don't want an easy matchup. So that's what I thought. I thought Red Zone Iron Wolves would be the best matchup, and then you have Marvels and Outlaws for the second semis. And in my mind, like having a like you said it, a playoff of 3 team is not ideal.
Yeah.
Kind
Kind of feels like soccer. You finish first in the standings, you're already in the finals.
Yeah,
you don't even have playoffs.
No, that's not what you want. So yeah, in my mind, it was if Red Zone can make it, then let's make it. And like you said, they got their wish. Mike made a lot of noise 2 weeks ago. Let's see what he has now.
And last time Red Zone did play Iron Wolves, they beat them, right? In that crazy game. Yeah, definitely. Like Red Zone are a team that I think deserves to be in the playoffs. We said it like very early. This Division 2 is going to have a playoff team not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like that was going to be the case, right?
100%.
Yeah. And we could start by talking about that Red Zone Iron Wolves matchup. So they faced each other the first time, and Iron Wolves won that game 38-32. And then the second time, late in the season, Red Zone won that one 41-37. So 2 very high-scoring games.
Yep.
2 very close games.
Yep.
I'm expecting the exact same thing. I'm expecting a 1-score game, a back-and-forth game. Shockingly, that the one that Red Zone won, Iron Wolves were up. And you know that John bleeds that clock, right?
Yep.
Like that. I wasn't shocked that Red Zone won the game. I was shocked that they came back, given that I think Iron Wolves were up at least 2 possessions in that game.
I remember I was at the field that day, and I left with Iron Wolves having the lead.
Yeah.
And I looked at the schedule later that night, and I texted Willie right away, how the hell did you lose that game? Because you're right, John with the lead is pretty tough to beat. So I'm pretty excited for that game.
They were up 12 points at 2 separate times in this game, 18-6 and 31-19 with under 7 minutes remaining in that game.
Mm-hmm.
The key thing to note, though, is James Langshaw, who had like maybe one of his best games.
That was this crazy game.
13 catches, 164 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But those stats don't even do justice to how pretty half of those catches were. Like he was leaping, jumping, like breaking ankles and everything. And he's unfortunately on vacation, so he won't be there in this game.
James not playing?
No.
Are you serious?
James not there for the remainder of the playoffs.
Oh, no.
So I don't know if Red Zone are full force. I don't know if Red Zone already planned their golf weekend and vacation since they didn't think they're making it in. Yeah. But I know that whoever's going to be there for Red Zone is gonna want to win that game, right?
Yeah.
Like Red Zone were campaigning. Not I didn't really agree with this, saying 5 teams should make the playoffs. Because you're kind of saying like we're gonna be the 5th team and we still deserve to make the playoffs. But now you're the 4th seed. You're in the playoffs. Show us why you deserve to be there, right? Iron Wolves, you're the 1 seed. The last time we saw you play was the very unconvincing win against Nice TDs, who we don't even mention in this conversation. And then it was your loss against Red Zone. So this is gonna be a great game. And we didn't. Will and I mentioned for other divisions, like literally any of these 4 teams can win the championship in Division 2.
100%.
Like I think the odds are close to being 25 across the board, right? Like there's no tremendous favorite in my mind.
I agree 100%, and I don't know why, but I feel like Mike is always playing with a chip on his shoulder. Yeah, he's gonna have 2 chips on each shoulder, like one chip here, one chip here, and Mike is a really good quarterback. I've said it. Like we played. I had the chance to play with Mike in Division 1. He subbed for Steve, and Terry asked me how the game went, and the first thing I said was Mike is a Division 1 quarterback. Yeah. He is a Division 1 quarterback. But with James not being there, is DeMario playing?
I'm not sure. I don't think So
listen, if Willie's not having that crazy game that we know that Willie can
he doesn't really have those games in D2 or in.
Yeah, sometimes
Like D3 and lower.
No. Sometimes he like, come on, Willie. I have a little bit of your back, but sometimes he gets those games where he steps up big time in playoffs time. If Willie doesn't go Super Saiyan, I have to give the edge to Red Zone, because not having James in the lineup is a big piece. In my mind, James is a top 5 player in the whole league, not only Division 2. So that's a big piece that John is missing in his arsenal. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game, and I do we call our shots now or later?
In a few minutes, because
in a few minutes, I still have to think about it, so I'll take those few minutes.
It's important to note, it's as if like I'm seeing deja vu or something. When Iron Wolves beat Red Zone early in that season, 38-32, Iron Wolves were missing DeMario and James.
What? Okay, I don't know what to
Like
think
this,
now.
you can't make this stuff up,
Are
right?
you serious?
And Willie had 7 catches for 116 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He's gonna have to do exactly the same thing.
Like, we can't make this shit up, right?
gonna
And he had the only interception of the game. John didn't throw a pick. Mike threw 1 pick and Willie picked it off. Like, we literally just gave them the game plan. That's exactly what happened when they beat them. That happened. They won by 6 points. Like, how crazy is that? Like, this is the kind of game they're going to have. I'm shocked that Iron Wolves pulled off that victory that day without James and DeMario in the lineup.
But like I said, Willie
Chris
stepped up
Hope
big time.
was subbing in that game, scoring 2 touchdowns against Red Zone.
Is he allowed to play with
Yeah,
Red Zone?
he's on Red Zone.
Okay.
So, like, Chris Hope at that time helped Iron Wolves beat Red Zone, and now he's part of the Red Zone. That's another storyline to watch, right?
Wow. Yeah, big time. But like I said, like we have it in front of us. It's going to be the same game 2.0.
Yeah.
Willie's going to have to step up big time.
Interesting to see if like Chris Hope's knowledge, like already his knowledge of the game is pretty in depth and very smart.
Yeah.
On top of it, having the inside info of having to sub with John a couple of times to know how he rolls his offense.
Yeah.
I think if one quarterback throws 2 interceptions this game, it's game over.
Oh,
Both
one interception.
Well, both times they played, no one's ever thrown more than 1, right?
Wow. Yeah.
So I think they could give that 1, and the defense maybe step up, get a stop on the other hand. But like I think it's going to be very, very important to not turn the ball over either side.
100%.
And like it's going to be a crazy game.
Yeah. Do we have time to talk about Marvels and Outlaws?
Got enough time. Got as much time as you want. Well, who do you think? What are the keys to victory / who do you think has the edge in this game?
It's tough. It's really tough because, like I said, missing James and DeMario.
huge.
DeMario is like 50-50 right now, but missing let's say DeMario is not there. Missing James and DeMario, in my mind, it's like game over for Iron Wolves. But you just showed me that it wasn't. I think I'm gonna have to go with Red Zone just because of everything that happened in the past weeks. I think it's like a story that you can't write. You're giving them a second chance, a second life.
Yeah. It's like never before seen. Like in any sports, thing. Like
I agree.
Like imagine crowning a champion that did not make the playoffs.
That would be nuts. But like, yeah, I think Mike's gonna come in with
Guns blazing.
Yeah, and he has big guns. Yeah, I have to give the edge to Red Zone unless Willie's goes ballistic. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Red Zone, you're coming in with a game plan to shut down Will.
But I feel this just furthers our point of like this is technically the 1 seed against the 5 seed,
Yeah.
and you're giving the slight edge to the 5
I know,
seed
it's nuts.
in a playoff game.
It's
That's how
crazy.
crazy and how tight this Division 2
Yeah.
was, and that like literally anyone could win it, anyone could not make the playoffs.
Yep.
I think I gotta give the benefit of the doubt to the team that finished number 1 and was more consistent throughout the season. Iron Wolves did finish with 3 more victories than Red Zone. I still feel they're the favorites, even though they had like a down season, like a down end to their season.
Yeah.
They're missing key pieces, but it's also unknown who's going to show up for Red Zone at this point. I see this game being won on converts. Like I'm not even going to say like one full possession. Like I see this game coming down to whichever team executes and is more efficient on their converts.
I agree.
And not necessarily saying that I think that's going to be Iron Wolves. I just think that like I don't know. I could see this game going overtime. I wouldn't be shocked if Red Zone win the championship at the same time. You know, it's just so crazy.
Can I make a bold prediction? Will's gonna love that.
Yeah, go ahead. We didn't make them. We'd actually make them into.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna go to overtime.
Okay.
I think.
Already that's bold.
I think it's gonna be bold because I'm not gonna go with the pick that I made. But if Iron Wolves are gonna win that game, it's gonna be in converts, triple overtime, and with Willie throwing the
game-winning?
the game winning convert
I can see that happening.
to John.
That's a little less likely.
Yeah, but I mean, it's bold prediction, so let's go really bold.
Or Willie throwing it back to John on the lateral and John runs it in.
Oh, that's like impossible. We're not making impossible predictions.
We also got another game to cover. Let's go to Outlaws and Marvels.
Yeah.
The battle of maybe some would say the two best quarterbacks of MFL.
Yep.
This is kind of the matchup we were expecting to see of Steve and Max in Division 1. We're getting to see it in Division 2.
Yeah, because sadly the Trollers didn't make the playoffs in Division 1.
Yeah, but I think Max is also not there this weekend. So maybe it won't even be the case.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
I heard whispers of that. Like,
no, he's not there. You're right.
Confirmed?
Yeah,
and
confirmed.
we don't know who's going to throw for Marvels, right?
Yeah.
Looking at the squad, I think Adam has some experience throwing. He hasn't thrown in a while. I don't know if they're going to get a sub at quarterback if that's the case. But it's going to be really hard for Marvels to win this game without Max. Like, already with Max, I think Outlaws is one of the teams that had Marvel's number in the sense that when they played, it was not particularly close both times, in Division 2 particularly.
Mm-hmm. Lately, I feel like Steve has Max's number.
Yeah.
Where in the past it was
like, back and forth. Maybe Max had Steve's number. Yeah,
a little bit more. But I feel like recently, like Steve knows how to beat Max. And it's a little bit like dumb to say because it's quarterback and it's quarterback. But you know what I mean. He knows the game plan. He knows how to get ready for those games. But still, Marvel with Max are still like a lot better, obviously.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'll still give the edge to Outlaws, I think, just because...
Outlaws won both games by a total of 30 points, man. Like, it's going to be tough for Marvels to win this one, and that was with Max throwing. Their defense is going to have to clutch up. Yeah. They're going to have to force, like, mistakes... force Steve to make mistakes,
and we know how hard that is.
Yeah, and then give their offense a shorter field to work with. Maybe get some pick sixes.
Yep.
Who knows who's gonna quarterback for them? But like, it clearly won't be someone who's as good as Max, right? Like, like that's virtually impossible right now.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I think Outlaws gotta come in this game and play their game. Like they gotta do what they did like all season long. Even though they gave up the most points against amongst the playoff teams, now they also scored by far the most points.
Yeah.
Averaging well over 30. Yeah, it's all about offense in this league. And the way they played against Red Zone and Marvels to end out their season, I think this is a huge win for Outlaws because they go from playing Tanant, who they were 0-2 against in the season, to playing Marvels, who they are 2-0.
You're going from the team who has your number against the team that you have.
And they're going from being the visitors to the home team right now. Yeah. Not that like there's the squirrels cheering on in the home crowd and everything.
Unless you're Kevin, you don't really care about that.
Yeah, in case for the pennies, obviously, you know. But then you make sure you tell him that he has to wear the pennies.
I love you, Kevin.
But like this Outlaws just completely changed everything because like they could have been very easily, like not very easily, but no one would have been shocked if they lost Talent. They got blown out by Talent twice already, and now I think the shock would be the other way if they lose this game to Marvels, right?
Yeah, big time. And like you said, I mean, if it's Outlaws Talent, I think we're both picking Talent, and Will's probably also picking Talent just because of the past.
Yeah.
And right now, like without Max, I can't see anybody picking Marvels. Right?
Yeah, even with Max, I think the favorites were Outlaws in this game, and it just makes it a little worse.
But now it's like obvious.
Yeah.
If Marvels are able to win that game, it's big.
A positive for Marvels, which I mentioned when we had filmed with Will, is that like it's pretty crazy that there's 4 receivers with over 300 yards on this team.
Wow.
4 receivers with over 30 catches, and all with at least 5 touchdowns, led by the main guy, Jeremy Rooney, who finished the season leading in every receiving category, making a Cooper Cup out of himself, a triple crown, 56 catches, 623 yards, and 17 touchdowns.
I feel like he has the same style as Cooper Cup too.
And then they got the trio of Tamim, David Cano, and Max Adori with 300 yards and over. And I didn't even mention Sean Haney's name right there, you know?
Wow.
And then they also got those guys like Adam, Jose, and Francis on the team who could be those role guys. And like the game I reffed, it was like... who was it? It was Jose making crazy catches on like key fourth downs, you know.
And they've been playing with Max for a long time, so they have that chemistry. It's a really good Marvel.
It's a good depth team of have a lot of depth on their receiving core, and like anyone that's gonna come in and quarterback this game knows he has those sure hands to throw to, and doesn't need to do anything crazy. Just make sure you're moving the chains. Have Jerry Rooney run those flies posts to keep the defense like on guard, and then like you got Max Dur right in the middle. I think any quarterback want to sub on this team, it's going to be more on the defense side of the ball. How do you make sure that the Outlaws don't score 30, 40 points on you to give yourself a chance to win the game by scoring maybe in the mid to high 20s, you know?
Yeah, I agree. And for the defense, is to like you said, give better field position to that new quarterback that's going to have to come in. But yeah, 100%, nothing crazy. Just put the ball in your receivers' hands and let them break tackles and make plays for you. And don't try to like... I don't want to say don't try to overdo it. And like you want to beat
Play your
Steve
game.
and play your
One
game.
possession at a time.
Exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Anything else? Or that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. I think it was quick, but
I mean, we give you more airtime than we did with Willie. I checked, and when I had filmed an issue with Willie, we were about 12, 13 minutes. Now we're passing 17. So
like I said, I'm better than Willie at this. So. There was a lot of comments all season long, by the way, with people asking me to come back, and we were just deleting them left and right. So he's gonna deny, but I'm positive.
Yeah. So we'll continue Division 3 with Willie. Thanks for being on, my man.
I got you, and see you later, guys.
So Division 3. Oh, you want to talk about the playoff implications and what that Iron Wolves are the odd team looking out?
Yeah, so did Iron Wolves finish in the 9 seed?
Yes.
So Iron Wolves, unfortunately, with that roster and that high-powered offense and Iggy playing well for this team down the stretch, Iron Wolves are going to miss the playoffs. Yeah, that defense was just
atrocious.
At least to put it lightly for them this season.
Averaging 37.1 points against. Like, we know defense doesn't win championships, especially in flag, but like, you can't win a championship for giving up 37.
I ref 2 other games this year, and one of them they gave up 55, the other one they gave up 63.
And what's unfortunate for them is that after starting 1-3, they went on that 3-game win streak, right?
Yeah.
Beating average Joe's, they panache old school.
Right.
They beat Idaho in that shootout, so like they really put a good string of wins together.
Yeah, unfortunate.
I was looking at the stats, a couple of players, and like when you look at the stats, Iggy and I don't know if Iggy and Johnny split exactly 5-5 the games throughout the season.
Yeah.
If they each started 5 games, but look at the quarterback stats. Is that as identical could get?
Holy cow.
Like, they have the almost same amount of yards, touchdowns, interceptions, completion percentage, even coming down to converts. It's not only the completion percentage, it's the number of completions and the number of attempts that are almost identical.
That is crazy.
So, and
Iggy,
then
23 TDs, 8 INTs. John, 22 TDs, 8 INTs.
Also, look at the receiving stats.
My goodness.
Even those are close to identical. Are John and Iggy the same player?
Yeah, for real.
They just cloned themselves.
Is Iggy running MFL just like that?
So take a look. We're not going to say those stats out. Take a look at those stats, how identical they
Yeah,
look.
for real. That's impressive. All that just not to make the playoffs, though.
Yeah.
Stuff.
And Gab Boucher had himself a season. Anyway, let's talk about teams who did make the playoffs.
Yes.
We got a lot of fun playoff matchups.
Ooh, Dougie. We got, I'm excited for, obviously, my game, but I'm really excited for Average Joe's Manitoba Boys. That Jason
my God.
versus Leon matchup. Leon got the better of Jason a few weeks ago when they beat Average Joe's Manitoba Boys did. This is going to be an exciting one.
And getting the better was an understatement because they absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah.
Both teams finishing 6-4. You know when 8 teams make the playoffs, that 4 versus 5 matchup is always tends to be the closest one, right?
Yeah.
Those teams usually have the same record, and they're the 2 teams that are the middle of the pack that make the playoffs. Both these teams, I could see making a run.
Yeah.
And one of these teams will be eliminated after the first week of the playoffs.
That'd be crazy. Point spread heading into this game.
Point spread?
Yeah.
You go first.
Manitoba Boys 2.5, minus 2.5.
Okay. I was going to ask you the question. I think, obviously, we have the Jagerbomb Thunder Boys who are favorites, even Idaho, but I said we could see these teams making a run to the championship.
I can see these teams winning the championship, yeah.
I could also see that.
Yeah.
But both teams had an up-and-down season.
Yes.
Which team do you think could have more consistent 3 games to do it?
That's a good question, Terry. I think, to answer your question, it's Average Joe's. But if you're asking me the more dangerous team, it'd be Manitoba Boys. So I can answer the question by saying I think Manitoba Boys have a better chance to win a championship.
I agree with that. I agree with everything you said there.
Yeah.
But it's also hard, if Jason has to win 3 playoff games, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to have one horrible game?
He might, but that...
Depends who's playing Jaff.
Yes, that too. But their defense is solid. Right? Jason could have a bad game. And it's happened before, but this season he's 6-4. He's brought his team to a winning record. Yeah. And he's done
it all, huh? 10-0, first round playoff exit, winning the championship in the winter. Now he's 6-4.
Man of many hats. So he can struggle in a game this season, but this team is still capable of winning regardless if he struggles or not. It makes it more difficult.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Manitoba Boys minus 5.5. I think it's gonna be at least one, and I take Manitoba Boys in that one. I think they're gonna be at least a solid touchdown.
Okay.
I think Manitoba Boys had that up and down season more earlier when they started, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously having Leon, new quarterback, starting 1-2, but looking at the way they ended the season, going 3-1 in their last 4 games. Remember how we said like Manitoba Boys like would score like 8 touchdowns or 0?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't really the case anymore in the last 4 games, right?
They're more consistent.
Yeah, they got more consistent, and like they've been playing more as a team. Leon finding his key guys.
Yeah.
And the same can't be said about Average Joe's. It was like a disaster in the season after starting 4-0, right?
Yeah.
This team was 4-0. We were talking about if they're going to have another undefeated season, right?
Right.
At that point. Only winning 2 out of their last 6 games. It's hard, right? Like they had that convincing win. Like they really smacked the Chiefs to let us know, hey,
that was good.
we're not only making the playoffs, we could score 60.
Exactly.
But Chiefs are an unorganized, not playoff team at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Their other win in recent was against Idaho, which was impressive.
Yeah.
But then their 3-game losing streak to Bin, Old School, and Iron Wolves just doesn't give me the faith I need to have in them right now. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I think this game is truly like a coin toss. Like, I think either team could win it.
Yeah.
But just the way that Average Joe's finished the season, I think, like, if you're a betting man, it'd be hard to bet on them.
Yeah.
But they have ballers across the board, and they have a great team. Yeah. And, like, they definitely have the talent to go to the championship game.
Of course.
So it's not because they don't have it. It's just that they weren't playing inspiring football recently.
Yeah. I mean, like, they finished same division last year, undefeated.
Yeah.
Right?
I do think the division got a little stronger.
Yeah, it did. But all that to say, these guys have it.
Yeah. Next up, we got... let's go Ben Jagerbaum.
Okay, so...
Are Ben happy that they get to play... are Jagerbaum happy they get to play Ben again, knowing that they lost them?
I don't think so.
Or they're stressed because they lost?
Yes.
Or they're happy because they get to... You know when you win a championship?
Yeah.
You want to say...
You beat everyone.
You beat everyone. And the teams that beat you, you want to have a chance to beat them on that championship run, right?
Jagerbaum...
Because you don't want someone telling you, we're the real champions, we beat you even though you're champions, right? Yes. You want someone telling you, we won our championship and we beat you in the regular season, right?
I'll say this.
I don't know if you know who I'm referring to, but...
Yes, I got it, Jeff. Jagerbaum is a very good squad. I saw that this past weekend. They beat Thunder Buddies, arguably the 2 best teams in Division 3. They played a really good game.
Can you not throw JF's way if you play him again?
Yeah, I know.
I told him, he's telling me, Will's a really good quarterback. Like, he's really accurate. He has a good ball. His completion percentage is, like, nuts. Like, and also, I looked, that's crazy. You have, like, the most completions and attempts. By far, you have the most attempts.
Really?
Because I was looking at how we have so many guys in the top of receptions.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking you throw like a lot of balls per game.
Yeah, that's why my shoulder's hurting, man.
Like, do you go hurry up all the time?
No, never.
And I'm like, well, you can't be that good. Like, you picked him up 3 times. Like, yeah, but like some of it was luck. Like, I was the right place at the right time. Like, okay, if you get 1 pick, like, stop being humble, my man. Like, you got 3 picks. Like,
no,
you're good.
He is good. This first one was very nice in the comeback route. He jumped at. His second one, Rob had in his hands. He just yanked it out of Rob's hands.
Like, give me that.
Yeah, exactly. And no, he's a humble guy. He's a great player on offense and defense.
Yeah, great guy too.
Yeah, super chill.
Okay, so let's just go back to Ben.
All this to say, Terry, Jagerbaum is a great squad. They can beat anybody. They are the favorites to win the championship. They're not excited to play Ben. Ben beat them. Ben is an up and down team. I sound like a broken record when I say it's any given Saturday. Ben is a team I found the most interesting in all Division 3. I talked about them. I said, are we giving these guys enough credit? They would go out and they would crush the next week. And I said, okay, forget about Ben. And then they would go out and do something like beat Jagerbaum.
Yeah.
So with these guys, you just never know, right? And I spoke to Simon after the game against Thunder Buddies, and he said they just had a bad game against Ben. Like, it was just one of their bad games. He didn't have a great game. Okay, for sure, but you got to give Ben some credit. And, like, I'm probably going to pick Jagerbaum to win this game. But when I saw the matchups, I was like, crap, this is not a good matchup for Jagerbaum.
Yeah. What was I going to say?
Like, if there's any 8 that could be the 1 seed, it's this matchup.
Yeah, that's fair.
You don't seem that convinced.
No. I was just talking about, like, you seem that you kind of, like, I asked you a couple of weeks ago, Jagerbaum or the field.
Yeah.
And you said Jagerbaum.
Yeah.
Do you still take Jagerbaum or the field now to win the championship, now that the season is over?
I can't because...
No, but you... With the aesthetics, like, on, like, Thunder Buddies, like, you couldn't at that time either, and you still said it, right?
I'd say yes, I'd take Jagerbaum.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I feel right now, like... They're still the favorites.
But what I'm saying, I agree, but I think this is a bad matchup for them.
Yeah, it definitely is a bad matchup. and Ben have won 2 straight games coming into the playoffs after I've lost 4 in a row. I'm still taking Jagerbomb.
We talk about like Matt always being streaky. Ben are probably the streakiest team in all of MFL history.
No, they're not streaky. They're not win-loss. They're like they won 3 out of their first 4, and then they lost 4 straight.
Yeah, I think meaning you could get anything out of them.
Yeah, I guess.
You're taking Jagerbomb. I think I'll take Jagerbomb too.
Yeah.
What time is this game at? 11. Playing at the same time. Yeah. Like, I sound like a broken record here, but there's a lot of good games in throughout divisions this week.
Let's go to Idaho and Old School.
Yeah. Idaho having a difficult end to the season for them. Old School playing without Daik this weekend. Got Jess a sub. They lose a tight one to Panache.
Daik might not be there for this playoff game. He's nursing a concussion injury.
Oh, shoot. Oh, that sucks. Heal up, buddy.
You know how we said there's 12 teams in this division? You're playing 10 teams, so there's only one team you're not playing against.
Yeah.
Idaho and Old School did not play against each other this season.
That's cool.
So it's the first time they're facing each other. Oh wow, did Idaho actually lose 3 games in a row to end the season?
Yeah, they had a tough end of the season, man.
Wow. And they had that bye week last week.
Right.
Who
Who do you think are the favorites coming into this game?
This is a really good question.
Yeah. Idaho's the 3 seed. Old School's the 6.
Yeah. Coming into this game, the way the season ended, if Daik was there, like knowing that they had Old School had their full roster.
Yeah, let's see if Old School has a full
I
roster.
think I'd take like Old School -1 or -2.
It's hard for me to argue against that. I still think Idaho are the favorites in this game.
But with the unknown of who's going to be the quarterback for Old School, I think Idaho are the favorites. Because, like, not really, man. Because, like, look, I was going to say Idaho's offense was firing even in those losses. But because they lost to Arnos, put up 38. But the 2 losses before that, they put up 12 points in each of those games.
Yeah.
Like, there's bad losses and there's, like, really bad losses, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and, like, putting up only 12 to Thunder Buddies and average Joes does not convince me of a lot, right?
Giving up this defense is solid. I've struggled when I played quarterback. My toughest time was against these guys. So giving up 41 against
Jagerbomb?
yeah, giving up 41 against Iron Wolves is a little bit surprising, right? To end the season, they lost the game 41-38 to Iron Wolves D3.
Yeah.
You got 41 points to Iron Wolves.
Yeah,
That's surprising.
it is. Maybe they're missing key guys or something, but this is another close game. This is the D3 quarterfinals is going to be something, eh?
I think in this division, anybody can win any of these games. If you tell me 4 teams that win, and then you tell me the 4 teams lost, I wouldn't say I believe it.
I'm really looking at all 8 teams, and like, obviously Jagerbomb are the favorite. There's Thunder Buddies, but like, I don't think I'd be shocked if any of these teams win the championship. Like, yes, I'd probably be more surprised if Ben do, given that like they just sneaked into the playoffs at the end.
Yeah.
But like, Jackrabbits on paper have the roster to like
Yes.
win the championship. Old School have won a championship. Average Joes have won championships. We just already spoke about Manitoba Boys. Idaho have the offense and defense to be able to win the championship. Like, literally any team in this division could be. And like, we're not just saying it to say it to be nice. Like, it's.
Yeah.
I think it's actually possible.
I agree. I don't like agreeing with you, but I agree.
I mean, I don't know why you don't like agreeing with me. If you're agreeing with me, it means you're right. Jackrabbit Thunder Buddies? Is that the last one?
Yes.
Last but not least?
This is going to be a good one. I think both teams are excited to play each other. We played them just a few weeks ago in a shootout. I believe it was something like 38-33.
I think game-winning touchdown came on the last.
We scored with like 2 plays left. A sick one-handed catch by Dave. This is going to be a good game, Terry. I know I'm excited to play Jackrabbits because they're a good team and, you know, good guys on that team, but not excited in the sense that like this team is good. I would rather have a quote-unquote, I guess, easier matchup.
Which doesn't exist in defense.
That is true. At the same time, that is true. So, yeah, this could be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. I think adjustments will be made by both teams because we just played them a few weeks ago, so kind of cool how that works. But, yeah, you look at just rosters on each team. You got players from D1 on each squad. You got studs all across the board. My gut's telling me this is going to be a high-scoring game with, you know, an interception here, interception there, a sack there being the difference. And it could very well come down to who has the ball last, just like it did in the matchup just a few weeks ago.
Yeah. And, like, what I like about this Jackrabbits team, and at the same time, it'll be, like, helping you out to know how to beat them. We always think about JC, talk about JC. You know, obviously JC garnered all that attention, and understandably so. Like, but JC he missed a couple of games, but he was also the third leading receiver in this team. Cesar and Gab Laplante have been balling out for this team with 460, 365 yards, 6 touchdowns. So yes, you want to shadow and
spy on or keep an eye on.
Try to shut down JC, but don't forget that Cesar at the center position has been great for this team.
Yeah,
and you got Gab on this team that's also playing a huge role.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is Nick Blais, not only is a great passer, but he's shown his hip move.
Yeah, recently, man.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Recently, he started running a lot more.
Yeah,
and that's dangerous.
Yes.
That's really dangerous.
Yeah,
and Thunder Buddies have struggled getting sacks all season long. I think we're not in the high leading the league in that.
Right.
But having a rush and a spy watching him is going to be huge.
Yeah. And
mainly not just focusing on JC because they got other ballers across the board, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right, because they do. And Nico has connection with the other guys. Caesar, they play Sunday in MFL together. He's a snapper, so they got that kind of ability to know what needs to be done in certain situations. And I think Caesar kind of changes his routes based on where Nico wants him to be, and they have that connection. And that's really something that is underrated in MFL and in flag football in general. So
yeah,
I think you bring up a good point there.
Get the dub.
Let's go. It's going to be exciting. Looking forward to this one.
Division 4.
D4.
Oh, where did that go? So we already spoke about the unfortunate tiebreak for Sooners in the intro of this episode. So if you just chimed in for this segment, go watch the intro.
Yeah.
If you're like Jazz, you don't need to.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't. So throughout the whole season, we were talking about Canal Club being the 1 seed, having the 1 seed. Then they lost Super Friends. They could have still been the 1 seed. They end up number 3 going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Airborne getting that 1 seed.
It's so funny. We were talking on air about how improbable that was, and Max Sidori was there, and he's like, "Wow, I love how much faith you have in our team, boys."
I think we both said, because we said that they could either make the playoffs or finish 1, and we both said if you had to bet, we'd bet them not making
the playoffs. Yeah,
because they had 2 very hard games against who they play?
Serial Killers.
Yes,
and they got a forfeit
against Boucher, which would have been a tough game, right?
Would have, and also the Serial Killers game. I thought Serial Killers were going to win that game.
Yeah,
I picked Killers,
and
it's a very impressive win.
Well, if Serial Killers won that game, against
all hell would have broken loose.
Hell, we still would have been calculating the tiebreakers right now because we said there were 6 teams and 5 got in.
Yes.
If Serial Killers beat Airborne, it would have been an 8-team tie.
Ah, come on, Terry, get out! Stop that.
18. We got 14 teams in this division. 8 teams would have been tied, and 6 make it in.
So you're telling me 8 teams would have had the same record?
8 teams.
So who's losing? Well, if 8 teams are 6-4, who's losing?
Well, the 8 teams being 6-4. Okay, it's very simple.
I don't think it's that simple.
8 teams are 6-4.
Yes.
That's 8 games over 500, right?
Okay.
Because 8 teams you're 1 game over 500, right? If you're 6-4.
Well, you're 2 games over 500.
Okay, but you're technically 1 game. So if you lose that game, you'll be at 500. That's what my.
Okay.
But I mean, you're 1 game over 500. I mean, you lose that 1 game.
Okay, right. Okay, got you.
Okay, so we're at 8. So I'll explain it to you. Those are your 8 games if you lose those 8 games, those 6-4 teams, you got 500.
Right.
Sour Peeps are 0-10. They're 5 games under 500.
Okay.
So right there.
I mean, actually 10 games over 500.
Okay, but I mean,
yes, I get it.
In terms of number of games.
Yes.
So right there, out of the 8, there's 5 that we need to.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 3 left to go get.
Yeah.
Goats and Wizards are 2-8.
3-3.
Yeah.
Still doesn't make much sense to me.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, maybe when you put it that way.
Anyway,
it's actually crazy.
I would have wanted to have an 8-team tie. That would have been insane. If that would have happened, Sooners probably would have been in. I shouldn't say that, but.
Damn.
Okay, so let's. I know we were both reffing that Super Friends game, and they thought they'd get a lot of airtime, but I don't have much to say about that game.
Except for they didn't play too well. Defensively, they played pretty well.
I don't get why they weren't going deep more often. And they started off the game with a pick.
They did. But I think that's the weakest link's strength. I think having Marvin playing deep and having those other guys play deep, of course, Marvin's the heart and soul of that team and of that defense, but they still have other guys that can play the deep ball well, and we saw weakest link covered very well throughout the game.
Yeah. All right.
And now we got a 1-8 matchup between weakest link and Airborne, where I can see weakest link winning.
Yeah, seriously. And we don't know who's going to be quarterbacking for Airborne, so depending on who's the quarterback, I can also see the weakest link winning. And the weakest link, you want to talk about Cinderella team? That's a Cinderella team right there.
Yeah.
Yes. Marvin joined this team, and like they called themselves the weakest link because they had just came off like a huge loss and winning 4 straight games.
Yeah.
And needing that crazy tiebreaker to making it in. And in
That's
those 4
impressive.
games,
Impressive.
yes, the first 2 they beat Serial Killers and the Goats are not in the playoffs, but those last 2 games they needed to beat Mustard Tigers and the Super Friends.
Let me tell you, this last game by weakest link against who did they play? Super Friends was I feel like indicative of their season. A lot of times they had fourth and medium situations, and the receivers were making plays.
Yeah.
When it came down to clutch for these guys, they just made plays. They didn't crumble under the pressure. They felt the pressure. They stepped up and they made plays all season long. At the end of the season, especially.
100%. I guess this goes to show like what parity we had in Division 4.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Yeah.
So let's go with Mustard Tigers for Flamboyant Flamingos.
Wow. Early take.
Both teams 6-4, like half the division.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did not play against each other in the season. Flamingos coming off 2 straight wins against 2 non-playoff teams, and the Tigers losing 2 games against, we could say teams who maybe shouldn't have made the playoffs, right?
Yeah, that is. I was really surprised to see Tigers lose to Weakest Link and then to Black Diamonds.
Yeah.
I see point spread going into this one. I'll still say 6.5 Tigers.
You can even say that their last impressive win came on June 11th against Les Bouchers, right? Because they beat Phoenix by scoring only 9 points, and Phoenix have been a disaster this year.
Yeah.
They beat Sour Creeps, who have no wins.
Yeah.
So I feel like logically you gotta go Mustard Tigers just because the experience on that team. Like, yes, they had an up and down season. Yes, Brian didn't have the season he wanted to. But, like, this team has so much experience in playing flag for so long. But, like, Flamingos, I feel, have been, like, surprising us. A lot of times when we thought they wouldn't win games.
That's true.
They ended with a winning record.
Yeah.
Then with one of the better defenses in the division, right? Giving up only 137 points.
They have athletes.
In 10 games, which is crazy. So, yeah, I really think this is a toss-up. Like, I could see this game going either way. I think Dimitri needs to be smart at the quarterback position as he has been most of the season. He's gonna have a great rusher rushing him in Tyler, and that's gonna be a good matchup to watch. He could run when he wants to run usually, right? I don't know if he'll be able to run as much in this game. You got great receivers, and keep it simple, which I think they have been doing for the most part, right? Like,
yes, I'd say biggest storyline thing to factor in this game is Dimitri's passing in this game. I think that he will be able to get some runs. I think Tyler will contain him for the most part. I think Dimitri is the most important player in this game.
The most what?
Most important player in this game, by far. If he plays well, they win. If he doesn't, they lose.
Quarterback, it tends to be like that with
yeah, but you're right. But I feel like in lower divisions, you could kind of get by. But I think with this team is really going to be up to him, especially against a team like Munster Tigers.
Yeah. Who do we got? Who else we got? Les Bouchers Super Friends. So Les Bouchers, I guess they wanted a bye week, so they forfeited that game.
Yeah.
Maybe they knew they had clinched. They were a part of that crazy tie thing. So I guess they were comfortable doing that. Super Friends losing that last game
that we refed. The last 2 games actually. I think I'm gonna go with. I'm not no official picks yet. I'm gonna go with Super Friends in this one. Just thinking about it off the bat. But I want to see how these guys come out after, we love Super Friends, super energetic, always make us laugh. There was a few times I was giggling while reffing that game. But they didn't have a very impressive game to end the season, and I want to see how these guys are going to bounce back.
They didn't have 2 straight losses, though.
Sorry?
You said Super Friends had 2 straight losses.
Who did?
You did.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't think I did. They lost that game against the weakest link, which was with one straight loss. So I want to see how they're going to fare with Boucher in this one.
It's Les Bouchers are coming up from 2 straight
losses. I think that's what I said. And Super Friends beating Boucher just a few weeks ago.
Yeah. I like Les Bouchers a lot. I think they're a very good team. I like them a little less given that they forfeited. We don't like forfeits.
No.
But I can't see Super Friends losing this game. Even if they don't play to the best of their abilities, it's the playoffs. The Morin brothers are just going to scream and get people pumped up, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
I can't see them losing this game. It's crazy because Super Friends had a very, very unimpressive game that we refed, and I still think they're probably the team to beat in D4.
Really?
If you had to pick, I know probably like checking Division 3. Almost any team could win this. If you had to pick, who's the favorite right now? Like
For me, it's still Canal Club.
okay, who's second?
Super Friends.
Okay,
Yeah,
But
no, you're totally.
you're still favored to make it to the championship,
Yes,
even though
yes.
they couldn't have like convinced us more last week to say the opposite.
Yeah, well said. We just believe in them.
You're agreeing with me a lot today. What's wrong?
What? Yeah, I know.
Didn't even eat before the show.
Wow, I'm actually starving, bro.
Yeah, okay, let's hurry up.
Give McDonald's. Good game to follow. But just I don't know what you said. One of the Moran brothers, the quarterback, just to see how intense they are. They made a stop on fourth down. He came on the field and he was literally screaming, and I could see his veins popping out. And like I made eye contact with him, and I was like, "Holy cow, this guy's like nuts!" But in a good way. In a good way. I love how much these guys love flag football.
Seriously.
Keep it up, boys and girls.
Okay, you know how some stories just write themselves?
Yep.
Phoenix and Canal Club didn't play against each other this season. Right? No, but that's not it. You're laughing. Wait, let me get there. Throughout the season, we saw like this new team with Francois at quarterback, playing great, like leading his team like to almost we thought maybe perhaps like an undefeated season at one point. And clearly we thought they were going to be the 1 seed.
Yeah,
you even saw them as your favorites now in the playoffs.
Yep.
And you know, Kevin, every time we talk well or like we think another team's good, well, Kevin always thinks Phoenix is better than any team, right?
Yes.
I know how to beat them. I know how we could shut them down. He won't do anything against us. We have the pieces to beat them.
He said that several times.
You remember?
Yes.
Okay.
It was in the media group.
Okay. Yeah.
in the
Talking
media
about
group too.
we were talking about like how this team's good. Like wow, new team in the MFL.
Man, this Canal Club team is good. Get together, okay?
Yeah, they're okay. Well, don't worry. I know how to stop them.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if he could put his
money where his mouth is.
exactly.
Look, this is gonna be.
Because he gets to face them, and we'll see.
He
if he
does
can
get to
stop them.
face them. For Division 4, you got ballers on both sides. Right, like think about Phoenix and think about Canal Club.
Yeah.
This is like not really a D4 game.
But
Kevin's
we got
quarterback.
Kevin a quarterback,
Yeah.
and we got Francois at quarterback.
Right.
So like,
yeah, this is gonna be. I don't know if I think it's gonna be a high scoring game, Terry.
I mean, look,
I think it's gonna be tight.
I don't know if this is the mentality that Francois has going into the game, but like when you're a running quarterback and you have like you're averaging about 5 rushes a game, attempts a game, like for like 50 yards, a touchdown. Like he rushed for 9 touchdowns in 9 games.
Yeah,
that's really impressive, right?
Speedster.
That's really impressive. He also threw 18 picks. Like I know when I started playing quarterback, like obviously you're running to get yourself out of bad situations, and as long as you're winning, most of the guys are happy. But like during the season, people want to catch balls, right? So like sometimes you're trying to throw the ball more. But come playoff time, if I have to run every second play to get the win, everyone on the team is backing my decision.
Of course.
And no one's going to care about not getting a ball if we win the game, if that's what I have to do to win the game. And I don't know if that's how Francois is going to approach the game, but if he does, Channel Club is by far the favorite coming into this game.
Definitely, but one thing I will say, Terry, is I think that, I have this team as winning the championship. I think that in order for that to happen, he will have to develop his pass game a little bit more in the playoffs. I know it's completely contrary to what you're saying, and I understand that. I just feel like even if you're talking NFL, once you get a way to figure out a running quarterback, it's a lot tougher. And in Division 4, you got smart players. Kevin's a smart guy, okay?
Yeah.
We don't know how they're going to approach this game, whether they're going to have like a double rush. What's going to happen is obviously he's got this. He's very fast, right?
Yeah.
We know he's maybe the fastest player in the MFL.
Yeah.
If he runs every second play, I would tend to disagree with you and think that.
Have you seen this guy run?
Yes, I know he's freaking fast. Like, no, you're right.
He makes guys
It has
miss.
nothing to do with his ability to run.
No,
It has nothing to do with. But I just think it becomes more predictable when you're running every second play. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's definitely more predictable, but like it's you still have to stop it, right? Like,
Yes.
You've seen me do it with Thunder Buddies, right?
Yes,
like,
yes,
and
you're right,
We've
you're
won
right.
championships like based on that method. So like,
Yeah.
And that game plan. So like I agree with what you're saying. Like I feel if we're asking, do you think he'll become a better quarterback, and do you think if he goes to D3, if this will work throughout the season?
That's
no.
a good take.
But I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
right now for the next 3 games in these playoffs with the teams that are here, yes, they're smart players, yes, there's athletes, but I still think I put my money on him for that. And it's funny because when I told Kevin that like he threw 23 picks, he said, well, you know what? Come playoff time, I'm just going to run. I'll run every second play.
Kevin's going to run.
Yeah. His 47 attempts for a total of 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. And -1 2-point conversion. John, we found the same issue we had with Dom LaFleur. Kevin also has it. So Maybe it's to say that Kevin is like Dom LaFleur when he rushes on 2-point converts.
Maybe he tried to run and he got sacked in his own end zone.
John said it was a really weird issue. I don't think he said he was going to fix it, but I don't think he knows exactly what caused it.
Yeah.
But Kevin Cousset also has.
What do you mean Kevin's going to run? You're saying Kevin's going to run as if the guy's a speedster.
He said that to me.
But that's like saying, oh yeah, I mean, if it comes down to a competition, I'm just going to arm wrestle someone, and that's okay.
Who's going to arm you?
Me. I'm stronger than I look, though, folks.
He's actually not. He's actually way weaker. Look at this.
Ow.
See, I was waiting for that delayed ow. He has over 100 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns in D5.
Kevin does.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive. That actually did hurt Brahma.
What other D4 games do we have? Was this us talking about Phoenix and Canal Club, or do we have to still talk about them more?
No, we talked about them.
Did we do every D4 team? We get yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, D5.
D5 gives the same vibes off as D4.
In what sense?
I feel we could see tight games, and I feel like the playoff push was bananas.
I mean,
crazy,
there was no
pretty
tiebreak to
exciting.
make it in, at least.
Yeah, that's true, but I feel like a lot came down to the last week. Like Titans, we didn't know if they were clinched. Heisenberg wasn't clinched. It wasn't as bananas.
Yeah, it wasn't as bananas. We got a lot of good matchups going in.
Mm-hmm.
I read the Phoenix hard target game.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to talk about a few things first. Ben Mallet is really good.
Yes.
Like on both sides of the football.
Yes.
They had a new quarterback come in that looked exactly like John Lavoie, but wasn't John Lavoie. I don't know if you noticed.
Okay. No, that's pretty funny though.
It was one of his childhood friends, apparently.
Okay, nice. Maybe they're twin brothers.
Yeah, I know. Joey having 2 picks in this game. Kevin having 3 and a pick 6.
Wow.
Yeah, Joey also catching a touchdown in this game.
My man Joey.
Yeah, he asked me to give him the props. That's why I'm saying it.
My man. Joey's Island, 2 picks.
Yeah. Well, one of those picks should have been 6, and he kind of said, "No, I'll get tackled at the 1 yard line instead."
Well, he wants to get Kevin the stats.
Well, no, because Kevin went incomplete, pick.
I knew you were going to say pick even though I didn't watch the game.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I had to say about that. Let's start talking about the playoffs.
Okay. Heisenberg, Phoenix. Talk about the 1-8 matchups.
Yeah.
This seems like another game.
Where any team can win it?
Yeah.
No. If there's a 1-8 matchup where it's one-sided, I gotta say.
I'm not saying any team can win it. Here, look at Heisenberg and look how they finished the season.
It depends. Are they going to be 5? Because if they're 5, then they have a chance.
I remember doing my picks, and every time I see Heisenberg, I pick the other team.
Yeah.
Last 2 games of the season, this team basically needs to win out, and they win out.
They won 3 straight games.
They won 3 straight games. They beat Hard Target, they beat Improbable, they beat Buck. Now, it may not be the strongest competition, but I think when you have a team...
They face the 3 weakest teams in the
Yes,
division.
but when you have a team that's confident, Terry, and that's rolling into the playoffs, don't get me wrong, I'm picking Phoenix to win this game.
And just to add to what we're saying, they have 4 wins. All 4 wins are against all 4 of the non-playoff teams.
It's a first for everything. So you really think this game will be a blowout?
No, not a blowout because, Kevin always mentions he's a nice guy. He doesn't blow teams out,
Yeah.
whatever, blah, blah. So it won't be a blowout, but
Okay.
it'll never be in doubt.
Phoenix will control from start to finish.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What does Heisenberg have to do to pull up the
We
upset?
didn't say who we thought would win Phoenix or Canal Club.
No, I'm doing our picks.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, just...
Okay.
You weren't paying attention, eh? What does Heisenberg have to do to win?
I don't think there's anything they could do to win.
I disagree.
What do you think they could do to win then?
Vince Vaughn is on this team.
Yes.
Manu's not on this team.
No.
For me, it's if Heisenberg play tight, press up.
And then Vince Vaughn is a hook and go?
You get beat by hook and go, you beat by hook and go. I say play the numbers. Play tight, play up front. Don't let Kevin run, the speedster and Kevin. Don't let him run. Play him at the line.
Forcing Kevin to run might actually... Well, then he'll throw no picks, yeah.
I'd say play tight.
Anyway, good luck. Congrats
Yeah.
on making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. We've seen it happen. We've seen more shocking things happen before.
Yeah.
Like Will trying to shave and not cutting himself.
What are you talking about?
I don't think we'll see
I
it.
think you see it.
No, look there.
It was Steve pointed out the other day. We're in the huddle. He's like, bro, did you shave wrong? And I was like, yeah.
Do you ever shave right? Okay, anyway.
No.
Drama Club and Mimosa Crew. This is going to be a good game. The same way that like those 4 and 5 are so close, this is like a crazy game.
4 and 5. 4 and 5. Oof. Whose favorite's heading in?
Man.
I see Drama Club by a smidge.
Okay, I thought it was close because they both finished 7-3, but looking at that differential, Drama Club have a 122
Oh my goodness.
plus 122, and Mimosa Crew have a 1 plus 1 when they both finished 7-3.
Okay, you made that up, bro.
That's nuts.
So
I'd say Drama Club are favorite.
okay, Drama Club's favorite.
I think who rushes for Drama Club? Because I think the key in this game for Mimosa Crew, and contrary to what you think, oh yeah, I'm a great runner, I'll start passing more now in the playoffs. No, if you want to win the game, do what you're great at now. Curran's great at running. Curran has to run every second play.
Okay.
I
was gonna mention the storyline to follow in this one. Above all storylines is going to be the 2 quarterbacks.
Isn't that what you have to...
No, I'm saying Curran and Simal. Like, the rush is going to be important, snapper's going to be important, defense, blah, 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 adjustments, but...
In any game, the 2 quarterbacks are important.
Yes, but I'm saying most importantly, too. I feel like in lower divisions, you can get by with a quarterback that's not great. You can win games with your defense. For this game, both QBs are going to have a good game.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, I do.
So yeah, that's what I gotta say.
What did you even say?
That Curran has to run every second play.
Okay. What does Simal have to do?
Not throw that bad interception. Simal
Okay.
played this past weekend. I ref that game as well. Who did he play? Yeah, weaker improbable team. And like I'll give him a slight pass because he got hurt. He was hurt that day, and he had like a shoulder problem. So like props for him to still playing the game, and huge respect for refing the games afterwards because he asked me if I could find someone. I couldn't find someone on such short notice.
My man.
He had a lot of pain. I think he didn't even play his nice cities game. He did throw 4 picks in that game to improbable, who are not like they have a great defense. Like Mathieu, Lead, and Alex especially have a great defense on that team, but like. Drama Club could be the better team. Should not be throwing 4 picks. So, like, I think Simon in this game, like, Simon's played some great games, played some social games. He has to really protect the ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to score on every drive to win this game. He really doesn't, but he needs to not throw multiple interceptions. Like, I think if you tell me Simon throws 1 interception or less, they're for sure winning the game.
Okay. That's a good take.
Who we got next? Titans, Night Triangles. It's going to be a good one.
This would be a good one.
Night Triangles failing to win that game against Cyclones when I personally asked each and every one of them to. So I don't know if I even want to talk about them right now.
Wait a minute. Did we mention it? Folks, I finished 3rd in the picks. We didn't even mention it. Thanks for reminding me. I was down, was like 5 picks against Terry heading into the final week. Yeah. Okay. You're paying, right? Because I won. Anyway, we have to get Terry to do something. For coming in last, I was going to wear a Tom Brady jersey because obviously I despise Tom Brady. And we're going to have to figure out something for Terry to do. Maybe write us in the comments. What can we get Terry to do this weekend at the field?
So Night Triangles didn't even play
Write us in the comments.
Titans this season.
Okay.
And Night Triangles losing that last game to Cyclones, but winning 5 straight games prior to that. How did Titans start to end their season? Titans winning 2 of the last 3 games to make the playoffs. It's going to be a good game. I think Night Triangles are obviously the favorite, coming in at 8-2 plus 172 differential, whereas Titans have minus 30.
Look, no doubt about it. Night Triangles are the stronger team.
But I think they could win the game.
Yes.
Like, contrary to like Heisenberg's no chance winning against Phoenix, like obviously Night Triangles I think would win 9 times out of 10 against Titans, but Titans could win this game. Like Titans played their 2 of the last 3 wins that were pretty good wins for them, and they got to keep it simple, right?
Yeah.
They have to not try to go anything crazy. They cannot turn the ball over, and they could pull the upset. Like I don't think it's impossible.
I think with McMahon on this roster with Titans, I think he's capable of, when he's on, he's capable of winning any game by himself.
Yeah. Right, permanent replacements and Cyclones to end, finish?
Oh, that's gonna be...
Is that the last one?
Yep. Cyclones, replacements. Replacements, I feel like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it with them, Terry. They're a good team.
I think it's the roster inconsistencies.
Okay,
that's
maybe
what's
it is.
causing it. So, like that's what's making the. Like that's why they switched their name from replacements to permanent replacements.
Because Pierre Olivier is a very good quarterback.
He's a very good quarterback, yeah.
And like he just carries himself like he's a quarterback. Throws a nice ball. And look at this roster. These guys got good players. Do you remember the one time we played We were playing at that random park when it was COVID. There was a guy named Luke that came up to me and asked what we were doing. He's on this team. It's so cool. So basically, we recruited him in the MFL.
He just randomly showed up.
So he was watching us play, and then after that, I was on the sideline. He said, "What is this?" And I said, "We're just playing for fun. It's part of the MFL." He said, "What's the MFL?" And I gave him John's information, and John put him on a team.
Yeah.
And he's a good player too.
I
Very
think I
good
actually
player.
put him on the team.
What?
I think I'm the one who put him on the team.
Yeah, I mean, like John doesn't. We know John doesn't do much in the MFL anymore, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that name rings a bell. Luke Allman.
Luke, what's his last name?
Allman. I
Yes,
think?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
I was very, very high on replacements to start the season.
Yeah,
Like this team
I would have been
scored
too.
41 points week 1. They won a close one week 2. They won week 3. They lost to Phoenix, and I reffed that game, and I saw that like Phoenix is the best team in this division right now, right? Like,
Yes.
At least like by the record.
Yeah.
I think going to the playoffs, they got to be your one in the power rankings. So for once, Kevin's not like falsely putting himself at 1.
That's
and
true.
then losing to like quote unquote the best team in the division by just a touchdown in a back and forth game. But then after that, losing to Night Triangles, losing to Drama Club, 4 straight losses after Cyclones, Titans. I don't know what happened. Like, yes, it was the inconsistent roster, but like this team, like looking at the way Pierre Levy was playing to start the season and the way they were like dominating games, I could have seen this team being the best team, like better than Night Triangles, better than Phoenix, better than Cyclones. But now coming to this game against Cyclones, they recently played. It was a very, very close game that Cyclones won.
Mm-hmm.
But Cyclones didn't have Lazar in that game, did they?
I don't think so. But Lazar was there this past weekend, right?
Yeah. Like, I just think, like, Cyclones are coming into this game with Jan, who's having a monster season.
Yeah.
I think QB of the year to be. Where's the Cyclone schedule that I had? Not too far.
I think it's going to be key
5
for
straight wins. Going
for
into the-
Cyclones.
For Cyclones
And
going
beating
to
that
playoffs.
triangle right last week.
Yeah, and being like Triangles like week in a like sort of playoff game, right? So like,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be really hard for replacements. Obviously they could win this game, but like
I ref that game. Sorry, the game where Cyclones played permanent replacements, 19-18, and it was a very close game throughout. For Cyclones, I think keep it simple. Do what you need to do. For replacements, just remember in that game, it's about finishing games out because they have good stretches, but they don't have like that hour of like keyword. Like they're gonna make mistakes, and I think it's about avoiding that either with a pick, a drop, a missed tackle. It's about avoiding that big mistake for replacements, and if they can avoid that mistake, I can see them winning this game.
yeah. Also, I kind of feel they kind of lost their swagger. Like I didn't see their game this past weekend, but I was reffing on the field back, like, my back was towards them. Like I remember they were coming to the game thinking like they were the best and like they were winning games. And now like I'm turning around, I'm seeing like their demeanor and like the way they are, and I'm like, damn, like they don't seem as confident anymore.
Look, folks.
And they end up winning that game 7-6, like which was unimpressive, right?
Yeah, a win's a win, but an unimpressive win. As weird as it sounds and as cliche as it is to say, everything that happened now is down the drain, is washed.
Everyone's 0-0.
It's irrelevant, right? It's irrelevant. If you're in the playoffs, whatever happened is irrelevant. You win 2 games, you're champs. Or in this division, you win 3 games, you're champs. Just got to string back a few good weekends of football.
Yeah.
And you got that shirt that says champions.
100%. Did we do everyone in D5?
We did.
All right. I was going to say let's recap the Brossard games. Not in Brossard. Like, I was going to let's recap the games, but given that there's no playoff games this weekend, there's a bye.
I agree.
I say let's save it for next week's episode where we're going to actually...
We should look at that. Yeah.
we could mention that Will won Player of the Week.
you didn't have
Brossard
to.
did one. Because we told me to look at that and like we...
Oh, yeah, but I whispered it to you.
Yo, your nose is huge, eh? Looks even bigger in that picture.
I
than
know.
this. Like, it looks wide. Like it's long, but like here looks wide.
It's not a good picture. I definitely have to get it
They
changed.
get flattened or
It looks
something?
like I'm constipated there.
No, but like, they get flattened.
What?
Like it's not that flat. Like it's long and pointy usually, but here it's like
Like it got run over by a bus or something. Eh? I don't know. It was a bad picture.
This is a Brossard segment. So yeah, we'll recap the games and what made who won to be in the playoffs and all that when we're going to preview the actual games.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's go to Division 2 for a sec.
Brossard's going to be all in one day. So like
Yes.
in Division 2 you could have 3 games.
Yes.
So you could play like 5 games that day. You could have 5 games.
I know. Can you go to prime time? Yeah, that's it's true. I was talking about that the other day. Prime time.
Why do you want to go to prime time?
Because I got a story.
So we're talking about Brossard even though we said we don't
Just
want
like 30 seconds. Imagine having 5 games in the same day.
Okay, what's your story?
That's enough. Oh, can you go to the roster, please? A quarterback's name is, I believe his last name is Rose.
Yes.
Rose. Unfortunately broke his nose at the field.
You're not joking?
Yeah, I'm joking that someone broke their
Well, I mean, it
nose.
was a good segue when I started talking off your nose when I saw that picture.
Oh, fuck.
Like,
No.
I'm like, what the heck? Like, it's a nose segment for Brossard. Like, that's why I'm saying,
Yes, unfortunately. But what's crazy about this? Well, crazy, not crazy. Is he was down. The game was over. They were down 32-6. It was a convert. One of the guys from Buccaneer caught the convert, and Rose played it like it was like the Super Bowl, and the game was tied. And after the game, Steve was refereeing the game, and he's like, "Yo, why'd you make a play on the ball? The game was over." And I was like, "Nah, that's mad respect. You always play like it's 0-0. You always play with your heart on the line."
how do you break his nose, though?
It was, I believe it was a shoulder. It was just awkward. A shoulder went up and hit him in the nose. No
Last play
malintent
of the
there. Literally last play of the game. Shout out to Buccaneer who seemed to be helping him. But yeah, thoughts and prayers for him. He seemed to be in fairly good spirits, even though his nose was broken. His nose was bleeding a lot. But MFL's a big family. And where was Kevin when we needed him? He wasn't there. Didn't have the med kit.
I don't think there was a med kit even if he was there.
Yeah, he just said
I
it
think Kevin
his
was trying to
old car.
survive at that point, though.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Poor guy.
So Rose, we're thinking about you. Hopefully, you got good news on your nose.
So that's it for that.
Yeah, we weren't even supposed to talk about Brossard.
Yeah, now we spoke about it for more longer than we would have if we did talk about it.
There you go, folks. Check our picks in the pick list.
Yeah.
No Brossard this Sunday. Say it again.
No Brossard this Sunday.
No Brossard this Sunday. If you show up there, you could imagine what you're going to be doing in a week later from then and visualize, picture making catches. But no Brossard this Sunday. We got playoffs on Saturday. MFL, baby. Right there. Is that a wrap?
It's a wrap.
Folks, sleep well on Friday night. Wear your sunscreen on Saturday because who knows what it's going to be like. We got
Or bring your
playoff-
raincoat.
It's true. You never know. With MFL Terry, you never, ever know. Folks, see you Saturday.
Everyone's at Arthur Terrier.
Oh, yes, all on the same field. Arthur Terrier, no games at LeBert. Playoffs, baby. Let's get it. I'm pumped. See you, folks.
Good luck to everyone.